Okay, guys, I had a bunch of people messaging me and asking me questions about weapon swap tech, and I figured I should make a video to explain it because it's really super important that you're using weapon swap tech. Otherwise, your damage when you get to late game is going to be really bad. Um, so I will just show you how you assign a point on your tree. You can see up here in your top corner, it shows you weapon sets. Now, I can't explain how important this is. This tech is so important in this game. It's one of the only things that gives you build diversity, right? Because this game doesn't have very good build diversity currently, especially in this 0.2 patch. But this weapon set stuff, very important, and they give you 24 points. If you're playing a witch hunter, you get even more because they have a passive that gives you even more weapon set points. But it's super important that you utilize these, right? You do not want to not utilize weapon set stuff. It's really strong. It doesn't matter what part of the tree you start on, you can use weapon set tech, right? Like, just as an example, if you started as an Amazon, you could go down here and say on weapon set 1, you could be using bows. So for weapon set 1, you could pick up this bow tree, and then on weapon set 2, you could pick up a spear tree, right? Just as one primary example of something you could do with weapon sets, right? So say you're using bows for mapping and you're using spears for bossing. Then you could use your weapon set tech on bows and spears, right? That's just one example. How I've done it on my warrior is I've used my weapon set tech for area of effect. So when you click the point, it gives you the option which way you want to assign. You want to assign main, you want to assign weapon set 2, or do you want to assign weapon set 1, right? You always want to assign whatever weapon set that you're using for that see right here, weapon set 1, weapon set 2, right? It tells you right at the top. So whatever points you put on your tree for these weapon sets, it's going to apply to this slot in your inventory, right? So whichever point goes on the tree, 1 or 2, it gets applied to slot 1 or 2 in your inventory. So it's super important, right? So as you can see, green is weapon set 2, red is weapon set 1. So just for an example is how I did it on my warrior is I always apply area of effect for weapon set 1. And the reason I use area of effect on weapon set 1 is because I'm using weapon set 1 for clearing maps and killing small enemies, right? So small weak enemies, I maximize area of effect so that I can do large pops and big damage to large areas, right? So I can hit as many enemies as possible. And then on weapon set 2, I just want maximum single target damage because I'm fighting one enemy, one boss enemy versus a whole bunch of different enemies, right? So that's why all over my tree, it's all single target related stuff, right? This is really important tech. Like if you were following my warrior build, you could see that like all the empowered attack stuff is on weapon set 2, all the area of effect stuff is on weapon set 1, right? And this is really important. Like it's really important you use this, and you can use this on almost every character in the game. Like if you're doing it with spears, you could be running more crit damage multipliers on weapon set 2. If you're playing up here as a spellcaster, you can be running one type of spells on one set, another type of spells on the other set, right? So it just gives you more versatility. Like you could be running like a poison build that uses poison for clearing and then doesn't use poison for bossing. There's so many things you can do with this, right? And you get 24 points. So like utilize these points to the maximum ability, right? Like I utilized 22 because that's all I needed to utilize with my setup, right? And that's why I did the splits that I did and the splits that you see on the max roll, right? So it's really important that you utilize weapon swap tech. Weapon swap tech is super important, right? And another example here, like just say you're running warrior and you're using a shield, right? So say you're using shield. You'd want to weapon set 1, you could path up here and grab all these shield nodes, right? So weapon set 1 would be only shield, and you wouldn't have to waste any points off both weapon sets to path up here, grab all these shield nodes. So you got all this block chance, plus damage for 1% chance to block. Like this is a really strong node. So if you were running shields, you'd probably want to path up here and get these anyway, right? So if you're playing a shield build, you probably, whatever weapon set you're using shield on, say you're using shield for mapping, you'd want to path up here and grab all this. Now, I personally don't like shields because shields make you slow, and I like to move fast, right? Like I don't like how much slower that makes me feel personally. I prefer to be able to move faster. I think it feels better, but it's entirely personal preference. They may change this in future patches, so it's important to know how that works, right? So like maybe next patch shields are way better, and then you want to path up here and utilize shields, right? So maybe you want a weapon swap so that you path up, use a shield on your weapon swap 1. But then when you switch to weapon swap 2 and you want to run double hammers, right? You'd be just running pure damage on weapon swap 2, right? So then you'd have all this like pure damage type stuff, right? Raw damage, raw damage, raw damage, right? No area of effect, just tons of raw damage, right? So you just drop all this area stuff and you're running pure damage, right? So it's just important to realize that like these splits, where the splits happen, and you go to weapon set 2 or weapon set 1, whichever one you set up for single target, that's what's going to apply for those weapon sets. And like I said, you can utilize this anywhere. This tech works totally fine. Like say you like I said, if you're playing in Amazon, say you're using bow attacks for clearing maps, you could grab this bow wheel as your mapping setup, and then you could grab the spear wheel as your bossing setup. Like if you're playing a Deadeye in the current patch, this might actually be good for you because maybe you can clear better with bows. I mean, definitely not because Lightning Spear's broken. But I mean, you could imagine that next patch, maybe you could clear better with bows. And then maybe spears are still really good for bossing. So maybe you're still using spears for bossing, right? Just as one example, right? Like that's just one example. But you can utilize this tech on every corner of the skill tree. This will work on every single corner of the skill tree. So like don't neglect this because this gives you a lot of damage, especially on bosses, right? If you're running all single target, this is really, really strong. So I would definitely take advantage of this. So hopefully that helps the people who are asking about it, that have been sending me messages. The other thing I was going to say is I do still have a couple of things in my dump tab here for you guys. I found one of these Beacons of Aziz. If someone's playing in Amazon and wants this, they can just let me know. I'll give it to them. I also found these boots in my stash. They're pretty decent boots. So if you're playing Warrior and you want some boots, you could have these. I still have these leveling gloves for Warrior. I still have this leveling amulet for Warrior. I got a really juicy jewel for a Fire Warrior, Fire Damage, Fire Pen, and Rage on Melee hit. So if someone needs this, they can have it. And I still have a bunch of these base plates. So if anyone needs base plates, I give a few of them away, but I still have some left. So if anyone needs one of these base plates, just let me know. And then also I have this tab full of jewels and just random rings that I've been picking up and not doing anything with. I don't know if anyone told you guys, but you can use these if you just go over to this reforging bench. You can slam in 3 random jewels that you don't want, hit reforge, get a new one, and see if you get a good one, right? So that's just one example, and you can do the same thing with rings and amulets and everything that's kind of the same type, right? But anyways, I'm probably not gonna sit around and reforge these all day. So if someone wants to take all my jewels and reforge them, just send me a message and I'll just give them to you, and you can take them all and reforge them and do whatever you want with them. I just don't have the time in the day, and I just want to play the game for fun, so I don't want to sit there and reforge jewels all day. But if you like reforging jewels and reforging jewels is fun for you, just send me a message. You can have all these jewels and you can reforge them to your heart's content. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I'll see you guys on the next one. I haven't been making as many videos lately because I've been playing Oblivion Remastered, which is pretty fun. But yeah, I'll see you guys on the next video. Cheers.